Okay, next thing we need to do is create the data table. So I'm just going to click on data input sheet, and we want to, I can't remember what what headings I've got, so I'm going to go into my old sheet, my original workbook, and steal these ones from here. Copy those, paste special, values, okay. Oops. Let's just level these out a bit. Damn it. There we go. Okay. So let's just type some random figures into here. Okay, you may need to format cells and stuff, but first actually what I need to do is have a start readings for the gas and electricity. Goes into there. Everything else is going to be formulaed, so what I'm going to do is right click on here, format cells, give it a custom date. Actually, I've already been on here. Have I got it anywhere? It doesn't appear, so I'll do it myself. There we go. Right, now I know you're not obviously interested in what information I'm putting into here, but what I do want to show you is the use of an if function. So as you can see here, we've got a gas reading and electricity reading. So if I just, oops, too many. But what these are, these work out the it works out the usage from there to there. So to do that, you would go equals the gas for January minus whatever's above it, which would be the previous month. Obviously, once we get to the beginning, we need to start reading. Why that's there. Damn it, use that as a capital. There we go. So that says that we've got 500 units of gas used. But what I want to do is if I've got a if I insert a new row below here, 2013, what will happen is if I copy this formula down, unless there's something in there, it screws my formula up. So what I want the formulas to do is appear as nothing unless there's actually a value in there. So I can have a table, say, let's put some borders in. Let's say it's going to be that big. I'm going to format all these to be custom. I've got it saved, yep, there it is. So March 2013. Now I'm using 3, I can copy one down. And what I can have is all the formulas in here, like this. So that will be that one. Total cost, that's going to be that plus that. Yeah, so the formulas are working, but the problem is they're displaying the wrong information, like that one for example, because I've not yet filled in whatever's in here. So what we can use is use an if function to essentially return as a blank value unless a certain field is complete. So I'll show you how to do that. So on here, that's meant to equal that minus that. What I'm going to do is take that away and type equals if, and I'm going to say if this cell right here is equal to blank, and to do that double quotes, comma, then so it's saying the logical test is if C9, which is this cell, is equal to blank, then I want you to return me blank. In other words, don't return me anything. But if it's false, in other words, if there is something in here, then I want you to give me whatever's in there minus the one above it. Close brackets. And then we're going to copy this formula down. You'll see what happens. All those formulas now completely disappear. And then when we start to type a value in here, the formula kicks in and says, oh look, you've used this much. Same with that one, and it will keep going and going and going. And it works pretty well. Again, if you've got averages on ranges like this, it's not picking up a 0, therefore it's not, it's not counting. So if to work on average, you basically add all of this up and then divide it by the number of columns. Now the number of rows. Because there's 5 rows here, it would take the sum 4500 and divide it by 5, but that's incorrect because we've only got 3 values. And as you can see down here, it's counting 3. If I just add the formulas as 0, sorry, I'm doing it on the wrong one down here. If I'm adding up, if I'm averaging on a 0, then it's going to give me an incorrect value. And I think you get the gist of it. That's basically why I do that, but also it makes it look a lot neater as well. Sometimes you got these little errors which just says, look, you're referring to an empty cell. Yes, we know we don't need any of those. Let's take all of that away. No, we can't. We'll do it on there. Ignore errors. Ignore errors. But yeah, so that's the type of formula that I wanted to show you. Obviously not really interested in what's going in here, so I'm just going to complete these off. I'll pause the video and I'll come back when I'm done. Okay, just done my last one, my last formulas, they've gone in there. Now what I want to do is just kind of segment what's a manual input and what's a automatic formula. Now obviously we know that the ones with the formulas in the formula bar are the ones we don't fill in. However, to someone who's never seen this dashboard, it's a little easier. You just go in with colours and just, you could even make a key somewhere. You can make it on a separate tab or in the same tab above the table if you wanted to say, look, you fill in these colours and you don't fill in the other colours. So let's do that. So gas readings, they're going to be filled in by us. So I'm just going to make that a light blue colour. Total gas usage, that should be a formula. Yep. So these, I didn't put a formula in this one. I don't think I did. No, they're not meant to be in there. So have I done this right? Yes, I have. That's fine. Okay, so the gas bills as well, we fill those in. We also, you could create a formula to get the next month. However, I'm just going to leave it so we do it. I'm going to hide this top row as well. In fact, I'm going to colour it in first. So all of these get done in like a greyish colour. Make it a darker one. You could change the colour of these top bars, but there's no need because we're actually going to make a table. So click anywhere within the table itself. Control T on the keyboard brings up create a table. That's the range. The table has headers, so click on that, and there we go. Now what that has done, you'll notice, is it's screwed up the top bar up here. What we need to do is shrink this back down. You could actually do the table. No, you can't really do it before. Anyway, it's a problem you may come up against. If it does, it's very simple. We've just actually got to bring this back down to size where it needs to be. Oops, I should have done that with that as well. So I'm going to pause this, make this the right shape, and we'll go from there. Okay, so I've put that back best I can, and it's slightly out, you know, by a very minor amount. But to be honest, I'm not too worried about it for this purpose. So I'm going to go into the table, click on Design up at the top, and change the design. I use this. Is it that one? No, it's that one right there. Just give the black and white effect on the headers there. I can censor all this out and hide the top one because I don't need that. Again, you may or not need to hide your top one. Now, if I right click and go to Insert Table Row Below, it creates a new table row. We have to manually type in our date, but all the grey areas have still got the formulas in and are actually working to the correct cells. So yeah, that's working really well. Coming up to the end of our video, so we'll leave it there. I think there's not a lot I can really say on this. It's a table at the end of the day. You're going to put your own data in. I just wanted to show you those little if features and how to use an actual table as well. So I'll stop the video here. We'll go on to the next one and we'll actually start to show you some of the dynamic table features.